Neama Rahmani. He's a former prosecutor, and he's on court TV here. He's going to open his big mouth on Kyle Rittenhouse. And he's going to make you wonder, where in the hell does court TV get these people? Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnnie Walker Dredd to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnnie Walker Dredd Show.
So we just talked about the one that the defense is claiming that Rosenbaum was actually attacking him, and that they want to bring in this information about his past, about being a sex offender, and that plays into their narrative. I want to get your thoughts on that idea. I've seen some cases lately in self-defense cases where the state of mind of the person attacking the defendant in the case has become a real issue.
Michael, you hit it on the head. Jockeying is right, because there is zero chance any judge in this country is going to allow evidence of Rosenbaum's status as a sex offender. There is no evidence whatsoever that Rittenhouse knew who Rosenbaum was, much less that he knew he was a sex offender or that he shouldn't have a firearm.
I wouldn't call it 0%. The moderator just got done saying that there have been past cases where the state of mind of the attacker was entered into the court testimony. While I agree that it's not likely, it's certainly not 0%. But that's not the real issue. Wait till you hear what he says next.
This is just another effort by the defense team to dirty up the victims in the case, play this case out politically. We know they're pandering to gun rights advocates and, all lives matter folks, or even white supremacists. And there's no question that this case is going to go to trial, whether it's in November or it's continued sometimes later, because this is a self-defense case. But I'm really ashamed of the attorneys here on the Rittenhouse side, because they constantly try this case out in the media and try to get public attention and sympathy for Rittenhouse, who frankly is someone who murdered two innocent people, one of which was attacking him with a plastic bag.
Oh man, there's a lot to discuss here. First of all, it's the defense that's playing this thing out into the public eye? Really? The prosecution hasn't played any role here? The prosecution hasn't tried its hardest to paint Kyle as a white supremacist? The prosecution hasn't tried to get Kyle's address publicly listed? The prosecution didn't haul Kyle up and try to have his bond changed simply because he went to a bar and had a couple of beers legally? The prosecution has done nothing but try to paint Kyle as an irresponsible white supremacist. Throughout the bond hearings, which everybody knows is on YouTube, they constantly made comments about Kyle being a white supremacist. The defense is simply trying to counter that.
And frankly, this is the latest in a long line of incidents where I think the defendant is essentially thumbing his nose at the court's requirements here. And it's very alarming when someone is facing these serious charges to go to a bar and drink, to wear a t-shirt with a profane message on it, to flash white supremacist signs, to move away from this address, put someone else at risk, and then refuse to disclose your whereabouts on a case like this. These are very troubling things. Now, I'm aware of the fact that under 969.035, the state could ask the court to revoke the defendant's bond. In fact, there was a protest last weekend. People in the community asking us to do that.
I don't want to hear about protests.
And by the way, all Rosenbaum did was just throw a bag at Kyle. That's all. He didn't ambush him. He didn't chase him. Kyle didn't hear a gunshot go off in the air. He didn't try to take his rifle from him. All he did was just throw a bag at him? Really? This is the kind of lawyer that court TV keeps bringing in. This man is an asshole. At least read up about what happened before you get on TV or on YouTube. Oh, and by the way, let's go ahead and call Kyle Rittenhouse a murderer. Even though we haven't had a trial yet, we'll just label him a murderer anyway. Again, this is the kind of lawyers that Court TV has been attracting to its show. Let me know what you think.
something that they're trying to put out there in the court of public opinion is they want to introduce evidence of him and his affiliation with the Proud Boys. Now, we know there were some photos of him taken after his initial arrest in a bar with people who they claim are a part of the Proud Boys. In fact, one of the leaders of the Proud Boys they're claiming is in those photos. What do you think the chances of them getting that in is?
I think that's unlikely, especially because most of that conduct or misconduct was after he was arrested and he bonded out. I didn't see any evidence of him being affiliated with white supremacist groups or Proud Boys before the events in Kenosha.
But that didn't stop the prosecution for trying to have his bail changed because of such an association. And yet it's the defense that's acting badly here?
With respect to the assault on the teenage girl, I think there's a possibility it does get in. The defense can open the door with a self-defense argument if they get up there and they say the wrong things, and if they specifically say that Kyle Rittenhouse is a peaceful person, then the state can come in and potentially bring some of that evidence in on rebuttal. So something the defense has to be worried about, and I agree with what Kirk said. I mean, this is all playing to the potential jurors in this case, and if the state can successfully get that evidence in of someone who is assaulting a young woman, that's going to be helpful for the state's case. And if miraculously they can get this Proud Boys evidence, and I don't think it will come in, then that's something that jurors are not going to like at all.
Okay, so is he right? If I'm the defense, I don't care if they put that information about the fight into the court trial. Go ahead. Let the prosecution bring up that fight. Then I'll stick Kyle's sister up on the stand. And I'll ask her questions about, is it reasonable that Kyle would hit a girl? Oh yeah, he was defending me. I'm his sister. I would have her talking about how Kyle defended his sister over and over and over ad nauseum. So if the prosecution wants to play that game, that's fine. What do you think? Like my video, subscribe to my channel.